Well, hello and welcome to 2021. Honestly, it snuck up on me this new year. Absolutely snuck up on me. I was working all this week, which was fabulous. It's good to be back at work actually after quite a little time off. And all I know, all of a sudden it was yesterday and it was New Year's Eve, and we had a lovely time Zoomed with my family, which was great. And I hope you all spent a nice quiet evening in doing whatever it was that made you happy last night. And thank you for joining me this morning. Happy New Year, Claire, nice to see you. Hey Lizzie, nice to see you too. Thank you for popping on. It feels a little bit impromptu. Hey Anne-Marie, how you doing, my lovely? It's 10 degrees in here at the moment. You can't hear me. Turn your sound up. Can anyone else hear me? I'm a little bit late because I had to reinstall the Facebook app on my phone. I took it off my phone for my sanity week before Christmas. Oh, you can hear me. Good, thank you. Yeah, Claire, sorry. I hope you find a solution and can hear me. Oh, you can. Good. So yeah, I took Facebook off my phone before Christmas, so I still had access to it on the computer and the tablet, but I forgot that I didn't have it on my phone, so I came to do a live, and I was like, slight problem. So I'm wearing my beautiful hat that I got bought by my Secret Santa to keep my little ears warm, and I had my gloves on, but we're going to be making a bit of a mess, as you can see today. So I've taken my gloves off, so I didn't ruin them. Yeah, it's down to 10 degrees out here at the moment, so I have. I don't want to come out, so it's a bit last minute planned. I came out half an hour ago and thought, what can we do? So we're going to try something. Okay, I got given a Christmas card for Christmas, obviously, by a friend of mine, and it's inspired my make. I'm not going to show you what it is, because if we don't achieve what it is that I want to achieve, you'll be able to go, what's she doing? But it's beautiful, and I will show you at the end if I'm happy with what I make. I'll probably show you anyway, because it is beautiful. But I hope you're all well, keeping well. Yeah, I'm doing good. New Year's Day, last day to sign on to my blends course if you want to join that today. Can't believe where the time's gone. Right, I'm going to spin you over and we'll get making. We're going to be using the Pretty Perennials stamp set and coordinating dies today. And we're going to be using some gorgeous colours. So I'll spin you over and we'll get making, shall we? Right, let's see what you can see. As you can see, this was a clean piece of grid paper about 5 minutes ago. Are you joining us, Lizzie? Yeah, I know, you're not the only one, I think. Obviously, there's a few waiting for payday. Hence one of the reasons I popped it on as the first. I think that's a bit better, isn't it? But yeah, there's a couple still to sign up today, which will be great. Cannot wait to have you on board. Honestly, it's going to be a blast. I've been going through the notes and the course guide recently. So for those that don't know, I'm offering a Stampin' Blends course. So we're going to be learning how to use the alcohol markers that Stampin' Up! Sell over 5 months, 4 classes, plus bonus content as well. I've got 2 pricing options. One's £60 for the classes, online classes only. Hey Jan, nice to see you. Afternoon though, Jan. I know, normally 10 o'clock we do these, but I'm a little bit late today. Russ was fast asleep. So £60 for the class, and that gets you the course guide, it gets you all the classes, the bonus content, the Facebook group, or if you want the full version, it's £160. You get 4 stamp sets, 4 gorgeous Stampin' Up! Stamp sets, and 19 of these Stampin' Up! Alcohol markers to get going with. So I know several of you have signed up to that option and several to the £60. Whichever you've got, it will be an absolute hoot and you'll learn loads, I know it. I cannot wait to share with you what I've got going. So that's got all messy and I don't think that matters. So I'm going to be using these colours today, totally inspired by this Christmas card. Can you believe it? This Christmas card I got. These are the cards. Hey Sandy, nice to see you. But it looked beautiful and it works so well. So I'm going to try the ink smooshing technique. Basically, we're just going to make a right old mess. And I've got this cute little die cutting machine to show you today as well, which comes available on the 5th for customers. I'm going to try not to make a mess of it. I might put that to one side, otherwise I'm going to end up spraying ink all over it. So we are going to be working in three, over here. I think I want Bermuda Bay. I'm going to be working with two different colours. So Pacific Point's going to go with both the blues and with the pinks and purples. I'm working with the shimmery white card. I've already got an ink spot on that, but it doesn't matter. Shimmery white card takes water really well. If you didn't know that, this is one piece I've just done, just playing around. I made a bit of a mess of it, but it works really well with holding the water. So Whisper white card doesn't do so great. Watercolour card is perfect, and shimmery white card is great as well. So what shall we do first? Let's do the pinky purpley one first, because I've already started making a bit of a mess with that. So I've got Magenta Madness, Gorgeous Grape and Pacific Point, and what I'm going to do is just pop some. I want quite a lot of pink actually. The one I did didn't have enough pink on it. And I'm just going to use the pads to tap ink down. I don't really know how to do this best, to be honest. You're trying not to contaminate your ink pads at the same time. The Pacific Point is such a gorgeous blue. And we're just going to get some ink onto this block here. Right. Now I spritzed the last one with water, and I think I might have actually put too much water on it. But this one, I'm going to try and spritz with, this is rubbing alcohol mixed with, don't contaminate! I know, I did manage to, I got a little bit of Gorgeous Grape on my Magenta Madness ink pad earlier, but I'll try and get that off later. You just scrape it off with a card if you do manage to get some on there. My hands are so cold, I can't feel them. You just scrape it off with a card. Take away the excess ink, and then you can use your refill if you've got one, but obviously there is no refill for Magenta Madness, so I'm going to be a bit careful with that one. So this is rubbing alcohol mixed with some of this Frost White shimmer paint. I've put 7 drops. Oh no, that was in the other one. I've put a few drops in. I might put one more drop in because I do want it quite shimmery. I need some new spritzers, to be honest. I tend to leave my spritzers with, I mean, all sorts. If I'm doing mixed media stuff, I've got paint in them and everything, and it clogs them really up. So I need to, and you just tip the bottle. This one's nearly empty. I have bought a refill, another one. But you just tip the ink in. Come on. Here it comes. Drop at a time, and it comes out in drops, which is quite useful. Right, there we go. So that's 2 drops in there. And then so that's rubbing alcohol in there. Just got from Boots. Are you still waiting on all your ink refills? What, the new colour ones? I'm probably still waiting on some of the older colour ones as well, actually. Right, so shake that up, and then you've got basically the alcohol dries slightly quicker, and you're just gonna spritz it. Not sure, you should get it everywhere. You don't want it too wet. I think that's the kind of key, but you want it wet enough that it blends the colours. So let's chuck a little bit of water on there. It's all an experiment. Basically, we are just playing. So the alcohol maybe wasn't the right thing to use. Like I said, normally I would come out and do this before I come on live with you guys, but it's too cold. Right. There we go. So you can see we're just making a right old mess with this and smooshing it down into the card. Thinking, what is she doing? This is quite a new technique to me. I've done it before several times, but not recently. and you can just put more water, more ink on if you want, until you're happy with the results that you've got. And you just keep smooshing it down. Just a bit of that pink in the corner. Okay, I might do another one of these because it's a bit weird, but we're going to die cut it basically. So we've got loads of kitchen roll here, and you just wipe it off. And then we'll go straight in with the green one, I think. So we're going to use Granny Apple Green, Bermuda Bay, and Pacific Point, wherever he went. Let me not ruin the nice Christmas card that I got. So we've got 3 colours again. Pacific Point, Granny Apple Green, and Bermuda Bay there. I am going to go with more this time, so I'm going to put some water on and see how that looks. This is kind of bluey, so that should be okay. I've got the water here because my hands are so cold I can't squeeze the I can't squeeze the thing hard enough to get the water out, so we're just going to pop some drops of water all over here to activate. And then you could wet the paper as well, that might help. Oh, those colours are absolutely gorgeous, aren't they? Get some blue in there as well. I'm just mixing them up, but I'm just having fun. And then I've got this piece of shimmery white card again. Oh, look at that. Isn't that stunning? That's worked much better than the first one. I'm just dabbing a piece of kitchen towel onto the edges where the ink's built up. And I'm going to go in for this other side as well. So what's everybody doing today? We're just chilling, watching some movies. Right, so that's that. You can, if you want it lighter, you dab kitchen towel on it. If you want it to keep its heavy colour, you leave it to dry naturally. And you could go in there and do that white piece as well, but I might put a bit of blue splosh just on the side there. Let's just see if we can just get that white piece. The other thing you can do is just go in with your finger as well, don't forget. So I think we'll go and do the pinky one again, but it doesn't matter that it looks a little bit of a mess. That's what I'm trying to get at, because what we're going to do in a minute will transform it. So let's clean that off and let's go back in with some pinky purples. Let's get some good old pink going on. Still in bed? Oh, bless you, Lizzie. I was late up today, but you are very late up. Curled it up with your man, just listening to your friend playing. Oh, wicked. Listening to your friend playing harp. Harp is beautiful, isn't it? Crocheting, hot tubbing, and watching me. Oh, lovely. Thank you for coming on, Rosie. Your hot tub looks amazing. Yeah, we're going to die cut out some shapes, Lizzie. That's exactly what we're going to do. So let me just grab another piece of shimmery white, because I've used it all up. That's shimmery white and that is shimmery white. So I'm just going to go with some little pieces, because we don't actually need an awful lot. The blue is so intense. Try and get this pink. Right. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh, Rosie, I got a waterproof tablet holder for Christmas, so you could get one of those. It's fantastic because I love to listen in the bath. I love to sometimes I've watched a Zoom meeting in the bath as well. I had my camera and everything off, but it was just I wanted to listen and it was completely at the wrong time. I don't know if I should admit to that or not. Right, so let's get some more pink on there. We've got some purple up here, so let's drag that purple and the blue together. And the pink there, lovely. Yeah, that's beautiful. Let's just get some more blue on that side. So intense, actually. There we go. So, we're going to wait for those to dry. I'm covered in ink. The person that gave me this Christmas card, if it was this technique they used, they've done a stunning job on it. Much better than mine. So let's get my heat gun, I think, and give these a bit of a blast. The dies from the Pretty Perennials are these ones, so they're kind of open weave dies, and I just thought they'd look really nice. They're gorgeous, that one, the pinks and the purples, absolutely stunning. We've gone bold, haven't we, here? Let's spin that over. So I cut these to 3.5 inches, which is actually the width of the mini die cutting machine. So I know they'll go straight through. Actually, this is warming on me as well, this one. That would be cool for something else. Hey Katie, no problem at all. We've been just been making a mess, basically. What better to do on a New Year's Day? Right. I'm going to put those aside just for a minute because I'm going to show you something else as well. I think, and I don't know what you guys think, I think gold will go really nicely with this. And one of the things I want to do is show you the new Gilding Flakes. I might just get a new piece of grid paper. That one needs to sit to dry for a little bit, doesn't it? It's not any less messy, but it's a little bit drier at least. So the Gilding Flakes that are in the new and Stampin' Up mini catalogue are gorgeous. Watching TV Miss Marple at the moment. I've not seen Miss Marple. That one looks like a sunrise. Oh, the bluey pinky purpley one. So these are the Gilding Flakes. I've emptied them out of their packet into a storage container, really useful box. And it keeps them nice and free, but also just makes them a bit easier to work with as well. So I've got a class coming up on Gilding Flakes. I think we're doing that in March. So I'm going to teach you all about how to use them. So this is just one technique. Let's get a used piece actually. There we go. Yeah, that'll do. So this is all about gilding flakes. Oh, I was going to spritz those with some shimmer as well. The alcohol dries quite quickly, so we might do that first before we do this. See, I told you I'm a bit all over the place this morning. So I've got my little spritz box, because I'll get in trouble if I don't spritz it in a box, as those who know me can attest to. So I'm just giving it a bit of a spritz with the solution that we made up earlier. Then we'll leave those to dry. There's no colour in this though, so it's a bit safer. I managed to stain our conservatory floor with Magenta Madness ink. Did not go down all that well with the other half. So let's leave those to dry. I've got this Sizzix adhesive sheets permanent that's in the, I believe they're still in the catalogue now. And all I'm going to do is cut that to size. She says if she can find any scissors. Come on, scissors. The problem is at Christmas the scissors get used for everything, don't they? And I'm just going to put this on both sides of here, and it will make sense. It will all make sense in a bit. So you basically peel here, even says peel here. Peel it off nice and gently, and then the sticky bit is on here. So once you've peeled it off, that's going to go on there like that. And then we're going to do exactly the same but on the other side. Just be a bit careful at the join, because where you lift it off you can peel away the stickiness, and then stick it onto the other side of your card like so. Not being all that precise, but it really doesn't matter. Just going to chop that away rather than having a loose sticky bit. So let's put that over there. Okay, so that's prepared. These are basically dry. Yep, so I don't know if you can see that. We've just got a bit of shimmer on those now. And I'm going to grab my die cutting machine that I've put safely out the way. When you buy this, it's £56 for the machine, and you get all these plates with it as well. We need, for die cutting, we need the base plate, so plate 1 and 2 plate 2s. So I've already got one that I've used as a cutting plate. So pop that on there, pop that on there, and then we're going to grab some dies. And we're just going to cut some flowers. It is a little bit slippy slidey, that's the only thing I will say about it, so you may wish to not have it on grid paper, that would help, or tape your dies down. Here we go. Can you see the flower that we've got here? Beautiful. So I'm just going to go through and cut a load of those out. You've also got the petals left, so you could cut those out of a different colour and infill them, so I might show you that in a minute. So keep those petals separate. And there's our other flower. Would be hard to see with my disgusting looking hands, isn't it? And then where did our little one go? And we're just going to keep cutting those out. You're hoping they'll bring in a mini magnetic plate. I know, me too, Lizzie. I'm hoping that when they sort the magnetic plate out. Yeah, they might bring in a mini one. I don't know where that die went. I find him in a minute. But the one thing I do love about this is that you don't need to be too precise putting the dies in, because the platform here is much wider than the plates, so it doesn't really matter if you put it in at a bit of a funny angle. Right, if anybody can see the centre of my flower, I would be grateful, because I can't find him. Use our little pokey tool to poke those out. These are going to look awesome on the white background. Where's he gone? It didn't go on the floor, did it? Right, let's see what else we can get out of this. I might have cut. Let's go for another bluey one, a dark bluey one. I don't think we're going to need all that many. Oops, not going in. This is so handy, this machine, because it can just live on the desk. The big one needs to be constantly picked up and put away again because it's too big. And then I'm going to cut another big flower just out of the middle. And I know it looks like I'm doing it random, you know, I'm not making the most of the space. I'm choosing the colours that I want. Honestly, no worries that you're late. Yeah, you only missed ink smushing, Katie, you didn't miss much. And me losing a die. So I need to find that. Oh, there he is, look. I found him, so I might cut out some centres. I don't know if I'll use them or not, but I'll cut them out. We're just keeping all the petals there, just in case we want to have a go at infilling. Is it the inlay technique? So we've got some of that. Let's cut a few of these. Now I've found him back. What did you get a box of, Anne-Marie? Sorry, you said you got a box set of Miss Marple, did you say? Oh, Lizzie, tell me about it. I need to sort my desk out. It's probably the thing I need to do. I'll try and spend some time in here this weekend, I think. It's been a bit manic trying to get ready for the class pack. I've got the class coming up in January. We've got the catalogue launch. And then we've got the blends course going on. So there's been a lot happening. And I know I had some time off in the run up to Christmas, which was brilliant. But I say I've just been working this week. So I've spent the morning tidying the house because it all tends to get a little bit manic when I'm working. 12-hour days. I don't know how people who have to go to work every day manage, to be honest. Nothing ever gets done around here if I'm at work. Right, and that makes it sound like Russ does nothing, which is a complete lie. He's really, really good around the house. But, yeah, just housework tends to fall by the wayside slightly. So I've got this large leaf die and the small leaf as well. And I'm just going to cut these. One thing I've found with this mini machine, if anybody hasn't used it yet, if you can get the top plates ever so slightly over the base plate when you put it in, as long as it's still on the base plate, it does go in a little easier. Otherwise I have struggled with it. Let me line it all up properly. So let's get that over there. And then that one on the top, and that goes through much easier. got really good pressure on it, so it cuts beautifully. Some of the smaller machines I've had in the past don't cut well. This one's got amazing pressure, but the counter of that is that it can be a little tricky to get the plates in because the rollers are doing a really good job of keeping it all close together. So I'll show you how I did that again. I've got the base plate there, put that plate ever so slightly over the top of it, and then as long as you're cutting still, you need all 3 layers to cut with, but as long as you're cutting still between those 3 layers, again put your top plate on to match your bottom plate so they're over the base plate slightly, feed it in, and it just will take straight away. If you try and line the 3 layers, yeah, exactly, have it not aligned. If you have all 3 layers together, you'll struggle to get it through. I'm glad it's not just me, but no, I did struggle and then experiment, and it purely is, Lizzie, because the rollers are so good, which is what you want because you want that pressure, but it can make getting it through just that little bit tricky. So just make sure the plates aren't aligned. That's a better word for it. So I'm just going to cut one more of these out, I think, and then we'll get down to business. So I'm going to cut one out from here with all that mottled green. Yeah, I mean, you actually have to use quite a lot of pressure on it as well with your fingers to get it through. I don't know whether over time it will slacken slightly, but the benefit is that it cuts. My other little machine that I have had for a while, it doesn't cut anymore. You have to put about 3 or 4 different shims in with it because the pressure just isn't there. So let's put all this to one side. I'll show you some of the beautiful colours and patterns that we've got here now. So this is just a bit of plain white paper, will help us see. And we've got, where's my pokey tool gone? So that's one of the greens. I'll lift this up to the camera as well so you'll really get a good... You could do this with blending brushes as well if you wanted to. I nearly did. I obviously wanted to make a mess though, because I've gone with the most messy technique we can find. I might cut some smaller leaves as well. We'll see how I feel when we've got it all together on the card. And I'm just using Whisper White cards. I've got a card base made of Whisper White thick, and I've got a layer that's made. This is just for me to demonstrate, to show you all these gorgeous colours. The pinky purpley flowers and the bluey green leaves that we've got. And to keep everything in one place as well, because then I'll know what we've got and what we haven't got. So this is what I was meaning by the infill technique. If you wanted to, so let's say have that one. I've messed everything up a little bit on my desk here. It's not a technique I do very often because it is a bit fiddly, but basically you find the petals that go in the little one. So that's blue, so we want to find some purple petals, and then you put the petals back in there. So that's not the right petal. We'll do it another lesson, another Facebook Live. We'll do the infill technique, probably with this stamp set because it'd be brilliant for it. But I will keep everything a bit neater than that. Shall I? I guess trying to do a puzzle when those are our pieces might be a little bit of a nightmare. So I've got a couple more leaves to go. And again, I don't know if we're going to use all these or not, but we'll see what we've got and what we fancy using. So there's all our bits and bobs. I am going to, while I've just got the dies out still, show you the... So let's put those safe to one side because I'll probably end up losing them otherwise. So let's grab in the Gilding Flakes, and we've got our piece of card here. So I need the die cutting machine back. It's a bit thick to go through, so let's just trim a little bit off. 3.5 is the width that will go through the die cutting machine, 3.5 inches. And we are going to die cut it. So I've got Whisper White card. Oh yeah, please do, Rosie. I'd love to see it if you've made something with the info technique. I've never really done it. I'm not a fiddly person, despite the fact that I love jigsaws. So I've got a Whisper White sheet of paper card, and then I've got the sticky sheet on both sides. Okay, and we're going to grab our plates, pop those on there. Again, just not align them ever so slightly. Make sure your card though is on all 3 layers. And we're going to cut some flowers and leaves, I think. We'll just cut a bit of everything and see what it looks like, I think. I'm half wondering whether to put Gilding Flakes on first and then die cut it, or whether to put them on. No, we're going to do this. I've got it. We're going to do this. Come on. Again, a little bit stiff because we've got all those extra layers of sticky. There we go. Now when you take them off, just be as careful as you can, just to take... This isn't going to work for me. Okay. Just to take the die off, try and leave the actual die cut in here. This is the way I prefer to work with the Gilding Flakes. Okay. I'm going to regret doing this on camera, aren't I? So that one's failed, that one's come out, and then leave that one like that. I'm just going to do one of each, because we're only making one card, and then the rest will save for another day. I'm just going to cut this off so that I can save that for another one. And then what you want to try and do, I hope you can see this, is you want to just try and peel away the top layer of sticky just from the shape. Okay, so this one here has already lifted off the sticky backing, so I'm going to pull that away. So I'm leaving all the infill stuff with the sticky cover on. I'm just trying to pull away the sticky cover from the shape where I'm going to want that's not going to come away nicely, so we'll just leave that there. There is method to this madness, and all will become clear to you soon. Okay, so I've pulled 2 out, but there's no sticky underneath, and that is quite important, because when we put our Gilding Flakes on, we only want them to stick. So you just take out a piece, pop it on there, and just rub it around with your fingers to begin with. And because the rest of the sticky sheet cover is still on, it's not going to stick to it. If you'd pulled the whole lot off, it would stick to the whole thing, and it could be a lot more difficult to rub off. So I'm really looking forward to doing March's class. I've got so many different techniques with this stuff. It's gorgeous stuff. So different to embossing powder. If people are wondering what the difference between the flakes and the embossing powder is, it's a completely different level of shine, for one. 2, you can just do a lot more techniques with it. And you don't need the whole expensive gun and everything and all the powders. You just need a jar of this and some glue, basically, even just Tombow glue. I've done a lot of techniques with it that way. And just use your finger and really get your finger into those grooves and make sure there's no sticky bits left. Alright, and then pop the lid back on, because the last thing you want is for these to be flying all over the place. Oh, you like that, Holly? They are gorgeous, aren't they? So then we use a sponge. Stampin' Up sell the best sponges to do this with. I just need to get a couple of clean ones. And you just rub all over. And can you see the fine dust flakes coming off? And that just basically cleans it all up, smooths it all off. Can you see there what we've got left? Once you pull your shapes out. How shiny are they? They're gorgeous, aren't they? I just need a little bit of coaxing out. And then they've got this sticky back on the back as well. Try and leave that there. I've broken that one, but just try and leave the sticky back on the back, because that's what we're going to use to stick it down with. If you didn't want the stickiness on the back as well, you could just do this one-sided rather than double-sided. And there's our flower, gorgeous flower. So I'm going to try and get these out. I think some of them might just need a helping hand. I didn't run it through twice, which maybe I should have done. So this one's going to need just a slight helping hand. There we go. So he's sticky already, so I'm just going to stick him on there. And then try and get this one out as well. Okay. And then push out all the unwanted pieces. Then I think we're ready to assemble. If it hasn't cut through exactly, it doesn't really matter. Let's just go with that at the moment. Where did the other little piece go? I had a... Okay. So what I've got is a piece of thick Whisper White card. Oh, there he is. There's my leaf. And a piece of thin Whisper White card. So let's put all those up there. Thought I had a shape as well, a little centre, but it's my day for losing things, I think. And then we'll bring in all of these gorgeous, can you see these? Aren't they stunning? And they're going to go with the gold. Oh yes, you can see those. And what I want to do is just try and lay them across the card. I don't know what I want. I don't know whether I want little leaves. I might want these kind of trimmed, I think. I've got plenty, so it doesn't matter if we trim, because then we can have them coming out from the side. And it doesn't matter if we start off the page either. So we can have them going like this, you see. And I'm just going to lay them out to begin with. And we've got the gold one as well. So the gold one really wants to go on the bottom. Oh, dropped him on the floor. Yeah, I think we trim all these down, then we've got a bit more control over where the leaves go. I got bought a beautiful jigsaw for Christmas, Katie, but it's very hard. It's a Dalmatians, but it's a double-sided jigsaw of Dalmatians. Right, let's just keep going. I'm getting an idea for where these are going to go. It's probably a bit big. We don't have to use all of it. I think that's the thing when I cut so much, is I think, oh, I must use it all. But you really don't have to. That can go on there. That one could go on there. I thought I had a gold one as well. That's what I've lost. Oh, my nose is so cold. Okay, I'm just going to get going and stick some things down. I'm going to make a little bit of a background first, I think, though. Just very, very... Doesn't this look like the coronavirus? This stamp here. I can see you doing a lot with that. I'm wondering whether I just make a very, very faint background. Maybe some ink splattering would be good. Let's get the... I'm actually going to use my blend, I think, rather than water. Let's see what this one looks like. Yeah, let's go for it. We're going pink. So I'm just going to use the nib and just create a slight background there to give it some interest. And then we'll get sticking down, I think. So I'm going to go with these ones that have got the sticky backed first. I mean, that's just, I mean, it's stunning, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous, this is. I might do something just with these and the gold, I think, because they are beautiful. And I'm just peeling it off, so I've cut the leaf off and then I'm just peeling away. Make sure you take those centres out. No real rhyme or reason, but I'm hoping it will come together at the end, basically. Yeah, I really like this with the gold. Sometimes it's well behaved and all these insides come out. Sometimes not, but because they're sticky, they are fairly easy to remove, which is good. Where's it going to go? Pop it there. Okay. And then we're going to pop this one there. So these ones, because I didn't use the stickiness, are going to be glued down just with a really, really thin bit of Tombow. The key to getting thin lines of the multi-purpose glue is to be very gentle with it. squeeze the bottle really gently. Well, I would love Holly to help if she could. She'd probably be very good at it. It's quite a hard jigsaw to do, but I am enjoying it actually for now. I've done the outside. Ask me again in a couple of weeks if I'm still enjoying it, and I'll let you know. So let's put a blue one. It's very blue, that one, isn't it? I don't know if I want that one. And then I think we'll have a little leaf. Just randomly there. Again, not a lot of rhyme or reason to this, I'm afraid. Yeah, I've seen those jigsaw apps, Anne-Marie. They do look really good. So let's pop that one there. I think. Let's go for it. And the colouring book apps as well, I've seen those. They look really good as well. So who's looking forward to the 5th of January when the catalogue comes out? That's what I want to know. Who's excited to see all the new products and get to have a play with them? Ordering, I am putting an order in on the 5th, so anybody who's got their catalogues already, oh look, I've just found my thingy. So anybody who's got their catalogues already, I am putting an order in. If you'd like anything, I can order that on the 5th for you. I'll pop the host code up if you wanted to order online and have it stripped if you want to have it shipped straight to you. But then we're doing the catalogue launch, which is going to be awesome fun on next Saturday, a week today. Is that a week today? Crikey, I need to get ready. So I need to prepare some more samples. I've already got lots, but prepare some exciting things for you to see on Saturday the 9th then. Oh, a week tomorrow. I keep thinking it's a Saturday today. Saturday night. So basically I'm just doing this off camera, but I've got my little thing. I have taken the backing off, and then I'm going to stick some of this sheet all over it, and you'll see why I prefer the technique that I did, because that's what you end up with. Okay, with stuff everywhere. I know, Sandy. It's going to be very, very exciting. I want to know what everyone's favourite things are. Everyone who's signed up to the catalogue launch, don't forget that you've got your scavenger hunts to do, and you've got your bingo cards to fill in. And basically then you just go in with a sponge and make a bit of a mess. Oh, we could put some gold flecks around as well. That would look awesome. So, and then you just basically go around with your sponge. But it was much easier to do it. So, I mean, this one's not too bad, but can you imagine doing this with the flowers? It was much easier to do it with it down on the paper still, if that makes any sense. So that's just why I prefer the way I did it before. Makes it look a little neater, I think. Right. So let's pop some more leaves on. That one there, or should we put that one there? Definitely one there. I've got your scavenger hunt back, Sandy, so I know what your favourite sweet is. What's everyone else's favourite sweet? Who hasn't? Okay, who hasn't seen the new catalogue? Who's sitting here going, what is she talking about? Brand new catalogue coming out on live on the 5th of January, so really not long to wait now, with lots of spring, summer products in, and the ones I'm using today are from that catalogue. So if you like the dyes here that you're seeing, I'm not doing a fabulous job of demonstrating them. It's all a bit haphazard and messy, but if you like what you're seeing, then you could get a copy of, you could get your set of these on the 5th of January. Oops. Right, so I want this little flower in here, I think. Now the way this is looking is more like a background. You're not as excited as Holly is for the catalogue launch. It's going to be a really good few hours. The last one we did was so much fun. And then I kind of want to put a greeting down here, so I probably don't want this too clogged up. I'm just going to pop this coming off here. And I don't mind that I'm going off the edges, because all I'm going to do is trim it. So that's just going to stick on there. So like this side here, I'm just going to take my scissors and trim off the edge. So that's more than okay. They come off the edge there. So I think that looks like it's enough. What I'm going to do is just pop some dots of Tombow glue. Like, I'm giving away my whole March class. Let's put some dots of Tombow on here, and then leave that while we do something else. Really small as you can possibly do, dots. Alright, because there's something rather remarkable about Tombow glue over and above a lot of other glues, which is a drawback sometimes, but it can be very helpful. So let's pop that to one side. I'm going to grab a little bit of, let's just go for this, I think. I probably ought to get some out of the back, out of the cupboard, but... And I'm going to stamp, from the stamp set, this one, I'm going to stamp this word happy. And I'm going to stamp it in Gorgeous Grape. Oh, Holly's typing all the messages. Hey Holly. Nice to see you. Are you looking forward to going back to... When are you back to school? It's not next week now, is it? So I'm going to stamp this in Gorgeous Grape. I'm going to need a bath after this, I think. Which is good, because that's exactly where I was going. Can you see the ink pad here? It's just ever so slightly, or the stamp, it's got some fuzzy lines. The reason that can be is it can be because you've got just too much ink on the ink pad. I don't know whether it's the weather in here. My ink pads all seem to be kind of leaking at the moment. So all I'm going to do is just clean that off slightly and try again. Much better. So all I did there was grab a card, this is an old National Trust one, and rub it over here a few times, and that just gets rid of some of the ink. Or it doesn't get rid of it, it pushes it back into the sponge. Stampin' Up ink pads, when you flip it over, all the ink drains to the bottom, which is great, but I say it can over drain, and it can end up a little bit too moist. I know some people don't like that word, so I'm sorry, but a little bit too wet. That sounds even worse. So all I do is use a credit card, force some of that ink back in, and it gives you a slightly better impression. And I'm just going to fussy cut out. Sadly, these dies do not have a die for this word, which I was quite amazed about. So if you want this word die cut, because I think it looks amazing die cut, then you will need to fussy cut it. but it's quite therapeutic. I just kind of zone out when I do it, which is why I go a bit quiet. Sorry. Yeah, I tend to zone out while I'm fussy cutting. We had a nice sprinkler. I read somewhere this morning you're not supposed to clean on a New Year's Day, but I had a good clean. Russ stayed in bed till, gosh, 11 o'clock. I had a good old clean of the house this morning. I'm hoping this looks okay when I've done it. It's hard to tell sometimes. So normally I would like to come in here and prepare them, but it's just been a little bit too chilly recently. My little rabbits outside are starting to struggle, I think, with the cold. It's just getting that side of freezing, isn't it? The wrong side of freezing. I know some people like it. I quite like the crisp, fresh, clear mornings, but not so much the cold, wet, dark, miserable mornings. So with the catalogue launch, you are too late, sadly, to sign up with a pack. But everybody's welcome to the catalogue launch. I'm going to be holding it on my standard Facebook Live page, so just like this, on my business page, so that everybody can come and watch, see us playing with some new products. I've got a couple of games, and those people who've got the packs have got the scavenger hunts and the bingo. But there'll be a couple of other little games that everybody can join in with. It'd be nice to see you there. So I've just fussy cut this word out here, happy. Oh, that's okay, Katie. You can't really see it. That was what I was concerned about. So I might do something. What I'm going to do is just grab a piece of a little scrap of card. Gorgeous grape card. I wonder how big I need it to be. Do I just have it coming across like this? So you've got two options. One, I can basically stick it on here and fussy cut round it, or I can stick it on a thin strip of it, if that's not going to cover up too much of our card. So because the strip is easiest, I'm going to try that first. And then we will go from there. About there, and then about 2 centimetres, just less than 2 centimetres thick. Can you see there? That's much better, isn't it? So I'm just going to pop that on there, and you could underlace it with some ribbon. Oh, I've got my glue dots on here. They're nearly dry. I'm just going to whiz those with the heat gun, but we can stick that on there for now. And so you could underlace that with some ribbon as well. Would look quite nice. What have we got? We've got this tri-coloured purple one, or we've got the Magenta Madness. That would look cooler. Just like that coming out of there. So let's trim that. And then stick that on. Oh, no worries, Sandy. I've run over a little bit. Oh, you always have an herb tea on New Year's. Catch up later. See you soon. Oh, Happy New Year to you too. Bless you. Yeah, no problem at all, Lizzie. We won't be long. I say we'll be done soon enough. But I'll post the finished cards on my Facebook as well. So you'll be able to see it there. Happy New Year to you all. Have a lovely afternoon, lovely evening, and enjoy your weekend. So I'm just going to stick this onto this little piece of ribbon. Just to give it a bit of interest underneath. And it ties in with our toned colour there. So let's whiz this with the heat gun, I think, and then show you what I'm going to do with the gilding flakes on that one. Ideally, we would wait a little bit longer because they're still wet. Let's give it a go and see what happens. I want them to be, so basically we just put tiny little, we only need tiny little bits of this. We've just put tiny dots of glue, and we're just going to stick tiny bits of this gilding over the tiny dots of glue that we've put on here. And what happens with Tombow glue, that's what I was going to tell you, what happens with Tombow glue, when it dries it goes tacky. So when it's wet, but when it dries it goes tacky. It doesn't dry completely, hence why we can use the Tombow glue, but ideally we should do this and then leave it to dry. That would be the best thing. I'm being impatient. I am impatient when I craft, actually. I always have been. And so when I do my mixed media, I'm not very good at leaving things to dry, which is fine because it just gives you different textures than it would do if you'd left it to dry. And it doesn't matter if we get bits of this all over the place because that's kind of the look we're going for anyway. So I'm just very gently going to use my sponge because I say this is still a bit wet, and just get rid of those excess pieces. There we go, so we've just got some gold foil there on the background. Then we can stick this piece on with a couple of dimensionals, I think. Put 3 of those on. So you can see this technique would be great for loads of different things. I will show you the finished card that I was given actually. It looks very different, but you'll be able to tell that it's inspired me. So I'm just going to pop that one on there, grab my stamp set and my stamp. So you could either have sending lots of happy birthday, you make me happy, happy for you, or happy mail. So I think I might go sending lots of happy and put it at the top actually. Oops. And we'll do that in Gorgeous Grape as well. We've got the Whisper White card base somewhere. Here it is. You can see what that looks like. I'm tempted to pop that onto a trim it down ever so slightly and pop that onto a purple. Yeah, I think that would look better. Let's see if we've got a scrapbook. Gorgeous way here. See what we've got. That looks about the right size. So let's cut that to 14 by 10. Let's trim this one down in size a little bit, just by 1/2 centimetre that way, and we're going to have to do 1/2 centimetre. Yeah. I'll tell you what we could do, actually just have a border top and bottom. I think we're going to have to do that because I've stuck the other thing on. So what we've got is a border top and bottom rather than a full 4-sided border. Right, so we're coming into the end. Thank you so much for joining me. I know it's been a bit impromptu on a Friday. I know a lot of people have been busy on a bank holiday doing family stuff. But if you've managed to pop on, or if you're watching on the replay, thank you very much indeed for joining. It means an awful lot. And I will post a picture of this finished card up on my Facebook page. And it will be going in the post to somebody who watched this video and commented. Didn't tell you that at the beginning. Because I didn't know what I was making or if it would turn out any good and anybody might want it. So that will be coming in the post to somebody, just to say thank you for watching my Facebook Lives. It means an awful lot to me. So hope you have a really great week, or weekend at least, because it's Friday now, isn't it? Have a really, really great weekend. I will see you all again. I'll be back next Friday for our class, our Songbird Stampers class, and then I'll be back for the catalogue launch. If anybody's got any questions about anything that I've talked about today or demonstrated today, I'd love to chat to you, so please do get in touch. Thank you so much, Andriana. That really means an awful lot. Thank you, Tracy, and nice to see you both. You were both lurking there in the background. Bless you. So yeah, nice to see you. Thank you for spending your time with me. I'll be back next Friday, 10 o'clock for our class. I'll be back on Saturday as well for the catalogue launch. And if anybody's interested in my Stampin' Blends course, doesn't know what I was talking about, please do send me a message. As I said, I'd love to chat to you about it. Closing date is today for that one, but we'll be learning all about Stampin' Blends and how to colour loads and loads of different things with them. I've got an awful lot to teach. So Happy New Year to you. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you all again very soon. Thank you for joining me. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Bye.